Hello everybody, and thank you very much for having us with you today. I'm happy to share with you our ideas and our concept of inspiration economy with my friend, which I would like to thank him, Mr. Remy Dero, for inviting us for your International Productivity Masterclass, which is in collaboration with the Institute of Productivity and Business Innovation Management. My name is Mohammed Bouhadji, and I teaches different courses for MBA. I used to be ex-professor of University of Bahrain, and now I am fully dedicated for spreading my concept through my international institutes of inspiration economy and youth economy and resilience economy, which we should specialize in. I have with me today also my co-partner, Dr. Dunya Ahmed, which I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm a co-founder with Dr. Mohammed Bouhadji. It's my pleasure being with you today, and thanks for Dr. Mohammed for inviting me to be a co-presenter with him today in this topic. I work with him in establishing the Institute of Inspiration Economy, and most important, the idea and concept of inspiration economy that we are going to talk about somehow in this presentation today. I hope you will find it useful presentation.
I said, especially she's a co-author with me and one of my best books, which is, we talked about inspiration engineering, which we shall cover with you today, because inspiration engineering is very relevant to our topic today, which is about, we called it today, roadmap for unleashing our inspiration economy currency.
And also we co-author lots of publications regarding the same topic and inspiration currency and these topics that you always can find in our websites.
Yes, in our website there is lots of presentations, by the way, relevant to the subject. So please visit our website, which is at mbouhadji on YouTube, or you can visit also our institute website. All of them you can find them, or you can go through bouhadji.com and then you go through YouTube and all our social media channels. So welcome again, and thank you very much. Again, welcome for our workshop. Our workshop is called Roadmap for Unleashing Our Inspiration Economy Currency. As I said, thanks a lot for Remy and all his team to making this possible. We have today different journals. We have established the Inspiration Economy Journal in Bahrain, and then we shifted it to USA to make it more international. We have many books in Arabic, which is about how to expose the inspire people, and we have also different programs for inspiration labs with the governments and inspiration economy. We brought our latest book, which I was talking about earlier. It's called Breaking the Shield. It is about philosophies and practices on inspiration engineering. And we have different books about thinking, a way of thinking. We brought a journal called Youth Economy Journal, which is again relevant to the same concept of inspiration economy. We focus also lately on inspiration and its relation to resilience economy, because you cannot be inspired and you cannot find out your currency without being resilient. We have also different books that's coming up relevant to youth economy, because we are focused on that. Beside our new journal, which is called International Journal of Inspiration and Resilience Economy, which we would like you to please see in the website. It's an open access journals, and we do lots of forums around the world relevant to inspiration economy and youth economy. I divided this workshop into three parts. The first and second part I'll talk about, and then I'll leave for my co-author, co-partner, and proudly my wife, Dr. Dunya, to cover the third part. I will start here about why this workshop is important. For that, I call this part importance of this lifetime workshop, because I believe lots of people, they pass their life without really utilizing their currencies, and really exposing or actually exploring even their currencies and utilizing it to the best or to the optimum. So the importance of this workshop, first of all, I claim is that most of us, we claim sometimes to be inspired. But we are not only at that time get productive, but even we have a feeling of happiness. The challenge for us is that we cannot maintain this feeling of happiness, or we cannot maintain sometimes these moments of inspiration. And this is why, again, I think we, from all our published work and studies, we focus on this area. What happened to humans when they don't really sustain their inspiration, or when they even cannot sustain this feeling of happiness? Okay, and imagine if we apply this feeling and we make it lengthened for different individuals, organizations, and communities. What would happen for our communities from its productivity and its resilience, its ability to make more productive economy? If we manage to really repeat this experience of inspiration, we become more even productive with high rates of hit rates, and which means that we can achieve things in a better way, and even we can achieve less with we can achieve more with less work. I believe that this is what differentiates people capability, because when we have the capability to experience things and bring more than one inspiration in our life, it makes us start to believe that the world is worth living. I believe that also we can start then to see that this experience, which is called inspiration, quote unquote, is more than even all the materialistic things that we got around us. Whether it is money, whether it is facilities, whether it's assets, and so on. No matter how much we have in cash or assets, this inspiration will be much more than that. And we will feel that really if we experience this inspiration. So we need to start to realize the meaning of the real success through understanding our intrinsic powers and how we create these intrinsic powers so that we create more moments of inspiration and more moments of happiness. Actually, our differentiated assets would shift to what currency we create from within if we really start to use our opportunities and challenges around us, which will help us to develop more tools and techniques to deal with these currencies. And for that, this currency, as I said, it will be worth much more than millions of dollars, and for that we call it inspiration currency. Now again, this workshop is very important because it is based on this currency we can build up an economy. If we really know how to deal with this currency, we build the basis for it, we put the rules for it, we start to put the philosophy for it, we start to develop formulas based on our experience with it, we can really create a total economy that will be less dependent on resources and more dependent on our intrinsic powers. Then we would shift actually our life focus, and whatever our age, whatever is our age, from growth based to more development based. This will help us again to see that we are based on capacity development, not based on supply development, which means that we are gonna see that our mindset and our well-being will be controlling things around us more than things are controlling us. And this is what I call for lots of people. You hear lots of people, they say this is what's happening to me, and I say that people who are inspired, they would say it is what is happening from me, and for that we call it inspiration economy, because it will increase our exposure area to see new opportunities, even the hidden opportunities, and to see life in areas that never been seen before, or in another actually glass that we are using today in our day-to-day life. We will start even to be very selective, and we'll start to use what I call pull thinking, which means that we start to see what we want, not what we see. And this is again very important. For that I have put for you this small figure. So if we have each one of us, if we imagine each one of us is this a human, where this human today is having in front of him a type of challenges, And these challenges are reflected in this type of blockage that I put in front of his eyes. Okay, if we really start to manage to overcome these blockages or even these hidden opportunities, we'll create what we call inspiration economy. This inspiration economy, it means it increases our ability to see hidden or uncaptured opportunities. And this will help us, of course, to break the shield. And for that we called our book Breaking the Shield, because the more humans know how to really engineer their inspiration, the more they can break the shield and they come with better opportunities. I will start here again with part 2, which is understanding inspiration currency. So what is the currency? Let me summarize again what I was trying to say. Currency might mean valuable things that we have or that we can trade for something that we want or need. Which means that currency is valid if we have to offer something others want. This means currency. And currency, a strong currency, means that we can create an influence on others with it, and sometimes with minimal resources or even without extra power. And for example of these currencies that we have around us, now I'm not talking now about inspiration currency only, talk about lots of different currencies other than money. It's like technical expertise, having specific knowledge, having political will, having social relationships, having using the social relation. These are all currencies that we use day to day. We have emotional intelligence, we have knowledge about how to deal with clients, we have gratitude, recognition, appreciation, listening, ability to listen to others. This is again a type of currency. Ability to respect others is a type of currency. Ability to manage with resources or managing to influence others, this is a type of currency. Or managing to attract funds, this is a type of currency. There is other type of currencies related to power and resources now more, which is ability to focus on the big picture, which is sometimes, it depends on how we see things in life. Or excellence, practices and values, these are a type of currencies. Or even in knowledge economy, for example, having an affiliation with others, or relationship, or networks, or utilization of other skills. These are types of currencies. And we can talk more and more about different currencies today around us, like having information, extra information, access for information, ability to do advancement, ability to do a better reputation, ability to have better networks or contacts, ability to have overcoming challenges, or ability to have ownership or a better involvement with people. So for that we have what we call Inspiration Labs. The purpose of Inspiration Labs is actually to influence again our inspiration currency to the optimum, or to again expose it and try to show you how much it is, how much you have as an individual or as an organization or as a community in order to develop this. In reality, we have lots of challenges today relevant to getting this inspiration currency. Why? Because we don't link it. Unfortunately, most of the self-development people or human resources trainers or facilitators, they focus on self-development. But self-development in reality cannot be sustained unless we have what we call an interaction or integration with a socio-economic problem. In Inspiration Labs, we focus first on how we integrate with socio-economic problems through chronic, complex and challenging, again, socio-economic problems. We can create a difference or a change. This will help us to explore more focused field through observation, and we can further again do exploration to see opportunities and currencies, and again we can bring the outcomes or the best out of us, because we have started to integrate through specific tools, focusing on a specific outcome through visualizing a better outcome for our countries in Nigeria, in Africa, and different countries of the world. It means that we have to live these socio-economic problems. We have to utilize the power of observation so that it will trigger our ability to see opportunities and currencies in different ways, okay, and for that we can achieve better outcomes through trying to utilize the currencies to the better. This is the theme of what we call inspiration labs that we usually do. Because through such inspiration labs, we can enhance really our productivity, which is the theme of, I'm sure, what is my friend Remy is trying to do with you, is about using the people intrinsic powers to overcome failures, to really see the repetition in different way, to improve our repetition when we tend to repeat a certain activity or certain deed, how we use our logical or analytical thinking, how we again overcome failures by having more empathetic thinking, and how we overcome challenges by having more innovative thinking. And this is what we call again inspiration currency in general. So inspiration currency comes from the logic of currency. Inspiration currency comes from the logic of inspiration. Because inspiration is about breathing in. It's about infusion with our nature. Inspiration is about something we discover. We discover something, usually it's about nature. You see, it's not different than innovation, different than creativity. When we discover something, we look for something in our nature. And for our nature, what we want to discover now how we can really capture these momental insights that comes to us to make it more developed and sustained inspirations. And we call these discoveries, or we call it insights, or we call it some idea or clear goals, or we call it sometimes suggestions, we call it sometimes awakening, sometimes we call it impulsive feeling. These are all moments of inspiration that we try to do through shifting our paradigms and creating more reflection and creating a spirit that I can do it. Okay? This repeated spirit of belief that I can do something with minimal resources, it's what we call today abundant thinking. Abundant thinking is about now the ability to see the world with less blind spots. You see the world so large that you can do anything in the world, even though in Nigeria, in Bahrain, in different countries of the world, we are suffering today from instability of the economy or challenges of things around us with limited resources. You can see that there is lots of things that you can do once you discover your intrinsic power or your internal currency. For that, such type of people who will discover their currencies, actually they'll overcome the shocks in life. So their repeated shocks will create for them actually opposite results. Now what happened to most people today, unfortunately, because they don't have proper discovery of their inspiration currency, with time they will be demoralized, they will be having a psychological problem, they will be feeling that they are really not fortunate, the unfortunate ones, unlucky, whatever. Okay, but in reality, if you start to use your inspiration currency, you'll deal with challenges and opportunities, and you'll shift them, and you'll start to accept challenges more and more, so that you'll create better learning, and with time, as you can see in the waves, you'll be going towards more forecasting and resilience on time. For that we say that the more we discover our inspiration currency, which is like waves, okay, you can imagine it like waves, the more we can shift from complacency to better assumptions, and we can discover our blind spots and will improve our attitudes and behaviors. If we start to change our attitudes and behaviors and we start to change our assumptions, actually we start to be called lifelong learners, where we'll have always renewed spirit, renewed heart, and our emotional feelings and renewed mindset, which will differentiate us from others. And this is what is, again, why we say inspiration currency is very important. Because through inspiration currency, we'll shift from being inspired by others or wait for others to inspire us, whether it is a religion, whether it is someone with a strong influence like leaders and so on, to we create change, even if in our situation where our change is very difficult, even if we have socio-political problem or socio-economic problems in our societies. We start to utilize our intrinsic powers to see ideas and how to employ ideas in our socio-economy. And we'll start to see that our role actually and our legacy is how to reorient and make sense-making of things around us and make it, instead of being problems, we use it as opportunities. And there is lots of stories today with this young generation, how they started to see the challenges, they turn it to be actually an opportunities for them to create better market. Now I will leave the floor for my wife and co-partner, Dr. Dunya, to talk about the third part and the last part.
Thanks a lot, and it's always very difficult for me to talk after you, Dr. Mohammed. So the third part is about unleashing our intrinsic currency, and Dr. Mohammed was explaining all the way around about what is an inspiration economy, how we can use it, and mostly and most importantly focus on that we all have it, it's intrinsic on us, but how we need to use this. I'll start explaining this. I'll bring it out from mapping out our book, Breaking the Shields, that was explained in the beginning. It's a book that was released in end of 2017. The book explains in its 12 chapters in different parts about explaining what is an inspiration economy and how it can be used with lots of examples and stories from lots of people. The main focus of the book, or the richest one that we can focus on today, is inspiration currency and the influence of socio-economy. So there are 4 parts that we need to focus on: the influence of socio-economy, the inspiring mindset, the inspiration currency, and lifelong learning. If we go through the book and we find lots of stories of lots of characters like Nelson Mandela, if we can take it from Africa, even if we go for other people in other parts of the world like Gandhi and lots of other people, we will find that they all focused on these 4 main things. That they were influencing the socio-economy, they had the inspired mindsets, so they were not thinking like others, they have the inspiration currency, and the most important things that they always have this continuation of lifelong learning. And that's what they're keeping them. They had a sustained legacy, and this is our main goal, how to keep this sustained legacy for us. So, and the tools to unleash our inspiration currency, there are lots of tools that can be used, but the most important tool is the sequences of planned events. So we can have the exploration for our inspiration currency through the sequences of new events we make it. So the more we go for these sequences, we can go higher, so we will be more thinking of the impact, the positive outcome that we want to have. The positive outcome will lead us always to have this sustained legacy rather than the expected result. People always think about forecasting and go for expected results as if it's fact that we have to be driven to it, rather than changing the facts. So we go for sustained legacy through our intrinsic and inspiration economy that we were explaining today. So the different level of currencies and inspiration opportunity explored. And of course, this was very well explained in our book again and lead us to this sustained legacy. So one of the main tools to unleash the inspiration currency is through the innovative entrepreneurial. And this can happen through visualization, influencing without power, and creating designs for inspiration currencies. So, and from here where we named it and we called it inspiration engineering, and which will lead us to focus on our outcomes and legacy and how we can really coin our legacy there. And to create more inspiration currency, we are, as I talked before, plus to have a sustained legacy and the 4 elements that I talked about earlier, we need to focus on currency of inspiration, the socio-economy issues, pole thinking, and knowledge and happiness economy, which we need to focus on, and we can't do these without the tools and elements we talked about earlier to have this sustained legacy. explain in a better way what do we mean by inspiration economy and inspiration engineering, that if these tools will not very well utilized and used, we are going to drain our effort and the result focus is going to be lost. So, and then of course, there will be no influence in any of our socio-economy or mindset or the currency, and there will be no lifelong learning. So really we need this inspiration economy and engineering to avoid this and to have sustained legacy and not to reach a stage of losing this sustained legacy. And the total inspiration can create socio-economy change. This can be through the School of Inspiration Economy that we are talking about, not through the materialistic currencies. Here we are talking about the intrinsic currency that we have, the inspiration currency that we are using, and through the inspiration engineering, rather than only focus on the material things and the power, and only changes can happen through the normal currencies that we are talking about, like dollar and the power we are talking about. So our final recommendations to unleash our inspiration currency is to work mainly on observation. And observation is a very, very, very main tool. Dr. Mohammed has passed about it maybe very fastly, but it's the main tool that we use it in our inspiration economy. And from the observation, we can have the recognition of an inspiration currency. Within this observation, the focus is very important because lots of us, we've observed lots of things, but because we lost focus in the middle of lots of our projects, sometimes we ending in another results that rather than what we were focusing on. And this will, of course, affect our agility in exploring opportunities. So all in all, these all will help us in inspiration, having better inspiration currency. Finding an inspiration currency cannot happen by coincidence without deploying focused approach and focusing in socio-economy issue. And of course, this will lead us to the solution of inspiration currency. Through that, where we can generalize the model and publish the model. And here where we coin our model and you can find it published, and having this model not only in one country or one setup, it's published all around the world. And we've tried to reapply it in different settings and ideas and models and theories that we worked with. So here I'm ending this presentation with you today, and I hope we've managed to give a brief about what we mean by an inspiration economy.
So I hope that you have a little bit shared with us what we see of the possibility of unleashing our powers, intrinsic powers, through the concept of inspiration economy. And I hope that you have a discussion after this workshop. I'm sure that Remy will take it further to discuss with you how we can utilize this. There's lots of ideas there. We try to make it short and simple, but we'd like you to really visit our website, see and search for our books. We have one of our books available in bookboon.com, which is the Handbook of Inspiration Economy. The other books you can read about it. There has been written about it lots of reviews, especially Breaking the Shield, and it's available in Amazon and other bookstores, e-book stores. As Dr. Dunya said, we had the pleasure because we believe that all of us, those who work on productivity, we simply work to inspire people and societies. We hope to see you in Bahrain. We hope to see you in Nigeria also soon, and enjoy your time today with the rest of the workshop. Thank you.
And if you have any question regarding this presentation or any of the topic that we have, please feel free to contact us through the emails that you can see in front of you. And we've said before, Buhajim, BUHEJIM @gmail.com. And we'll be more than happy to be in touch with you and to contact you and hear more about you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.